Hi, Movie Guru here. Today I will explain to you an American science fiction movie called The Time Machine. So sit back, relax and enjoy. The premise of the film is set in 1899. Dr. Alexander Hartigan is Associate Professor of Engineering and Applied Mechanics at Columbia University. The film begins when we see him working on a formula so invested that his friend and his colleague, David Philby, has to remind him of his date with his girlfriend Emma at age 5. Hearing this, Alexander quickly takes his notes and rushes to his house to get ready. Along the way, he and David talk about all of Alex's proposals that the university rejected. David suggests making his proposals less radical for them, so that they are useful to humans. At Alessio's house, they are greeted by their housekeeper, Mrs. Appearance. They make Alex change some new elegant clothes and go to meet Emma. Finally he meets Emma. The two of them are walking in Central Park talking. Alex mentions her deteriorating health and states that she will only be well again when she marries him. Emma, with tears in her eyes, accepts his proposal. After a bit of trouble in his pockets, he gives her a ring with his birthstone set. Emma is over the moon. However, a man suddenly approaches them and surrounds them. He asks for their money. When Alex tries to take revenge, the robber points the gun at him. Alex obeys and gives the thief his wallet. And they look, but when he asks for Emma's ring, he is denied. The man then tries to catch it and shoots her to death as she struggles. Alex holds her in her arms, calling her by her name, as she takes her last breath and dies. He is utterly devastated as he hugs his inert corpse, and he weeps in vain. The scene is reduced to 4 years later. Alex is writing a formula on the board, researching as he always does. He still hasn't gotten over Emma's death and has been busy with her work ever since. David and Ms. Watchett are worried about him. That day, when David comes to meet him, he notices something on the other side of the curtains and asks David to tell him what he's working on. David invites him to dinner in a week and offers to show him his invention. A week goes by and finally it's the day. Alex dresses alone, for the first time since Emma's death. Then he opens the curtains and on the other side we see a huge machine. It has many wheels and gears. A chair is set in the middle. Alex sits on it and looks at Emma's photo in a locket. He slowly lowers a lever, forming a spherical shield around him. Then the car starts moving. As Alex lowers one last lever, the camera zooms in on a pocket watch and we see its hand moving counterclockwise. It turns out that the machine Alex uses is a time machine. He put blood and sweat into the car to go back to the day Emma died 4 years ago and save her. In the next scene, we see the future Alex in Central Park on the day of Emma's death. She sees him and runs towards him. Alex is shocked to see his precious love again. He kisses her with glee and takes her to the nearest car to take her out of the park. They get out of the car in the middle of the city. Alex tells him to go to his house and stay there for the night. He leaves her on the side of the road to bring her the flowers as promised. But then a vehicle hits her and kills Emma again. Alex realizes that he cannot change Emma's fate and whatever she does, she will die that night. So he decides to go into the future and study futuristic time machines. He gets into the car and lowers the lever again, this time setting the time to 2030. As he travels back in time, he sees the world around him change. In 2030, he sees commercials for a settlement being established on the moon. He goes to the New York Library hoping to find a time travel book where he stumbles upon a hologram of the librarian named Vox 114 and is amazed by the technology. However, speaking of time travel, Vox 114 reveals that there was no such invention. Thinking that he would have better luck a couple of years later, he gets back in the car and now travels to the year 2037. In 2037 the world was completely destroyed. The Lunar Habitation Program made the Earth habitable because the moon got closer to it. The gravitational forces of bodies change, causing frequent earthquakes and tsunamis on Earth. The lunar dwelling caused a large crack on the lunar surface. 2 police officers, who are evacuating the land, stop Alex to take him to their evacuation center. While he resists them, the earth starts shaking and splits in half, pouring hot lava. Alex quickly gets into his car and drives off, but in the midst of the chaos, he bangs his head against a piece of metal, causing it to go unconscious. The time machine begins its journey, but an unconscious Alex is not there to stop it. When he finally opens his eyes, he sees that he has reached the year 802.701 and quickly stops the car before fainting again. He wakes up in bed with his wounds healed. While wearing his clothes, a little boy approaches him and runs away. Alex follows the boy and he sees that future humans have returned to a primitive lifestyle and live on the cliffs. Everyone goes to Alex and looks at him in amazement, but they don't seem to understand English, except for one girl called Mara who can speak the language fluently. Alex tells him that she is a time traveler, but Mara tells the others that he is just a wandering fool, so they don't kill him. Those people, they are called Eloys. A loud horn is heard and everyone walks into her shed. That night, him stays at Mara's house and her brother, Kalen. He looks at the broken pieces of the moon in the sky. The next day, Mara takes Alex on her time machine. The two see that he has not been harmed. Mara insists that Alex take Kalen with her back in time. Before Alex can ask why, there is a loud horn in the background. Mara gets scared and runs to save Kalen, while Alex follows her confused. Everyone around him also starts running towards the cliffs. Suddenly Alex arrives, face to face with a beast creature of life. They are called the Morlocks. Others emerge from the ground and start attacking everyone. They bind the people who can get them hands inside and bring them to the ground. Alex watches as one of them captures Mara and sinks with her on the ground. When everyone is gone, Alex tries to ask the others where the Morlocks are. Take them, but Kalen tells him that when the Eloy are taken, they shouldn't talk about it of him. Kalen then takes Alex to the opening of the Morlock world. They go down into a cave, and Alex realizes it's the New York Library. Vox 144's hologram speaks behind them. Since the technology was solar-powered, it has survived all these years. Alex is beyond surprised, and asks what is happening in the world now. Vox 114 replies that the race became two, Eloys and Morlocks. This is the nature of the world now. The Morlocks come to the surface to hunt down Eloys to survive. Vox then reveals it to reach the world of Morlocks, you have to follow the breath. Kalen and Alex hear the noise and follow it to reach a huge statue of a demonic face whose mouth is an opening in Morlocks world. Leave Kalen out and carefully go underground. Finally reaches the place and see a whole civilization there. So he sneaks into a room and accidentally falls into a pond full of human remains. Alex is then found by a Morlock and sent to their leader's room. The leader explains that when the moon disassociated, some people sank underground with nowhere else to go. Through the years, evolved into carnivorous Morlocks. Others miraculously survived on the surface and repopulate the Eloys. The Morlocks tried to get back to the surface, but they couldn't, due to years of underground evolution. So they began to hunt humans to the surface to feed and reproduce. The leader also reveals that he has the power to control the minds of Eloys and Morlocks and control the balance of the world across to them. He has also read Alex's mind and knows he is a time traveler and he wants him to bring Emma back. He hallucinates Alex about his life if Emma wasn't dead. Is full. Sadly, seeing Emma and her son playing. The leader then concludes that humans cannot. They change destiny, because they are the result of their own actions. He then shows Alex the time machine he brought into the Morlock world. The leader wants him to go back to where he came from and not damage the balance of the company now. Alex silently obeys, but when the car, he drags the leader with him. The two argue for a while. Alex holds it out of the sphere of the machine and turns it on. He stops the car in the future and sees that the place is full of Morlocks' cave, suggesting that the place is now ruled by Morlocks. Alex returns to save Mara and takes her out of the cage. The Morlocks get angry and jump to attack them, but Alex locks a gear in the car, creating a huge time warp. Time. The machine explodes, taking with it all of Morlock's world, but Mara and Alex manage to run out of it. The cave just in time. Without his time machine, Alex decides to stay with Aloys as he has found fulfillment here. In the future, we will see Vox 144 teaching the children of Aloys about the past of humans. Alex takes Murray and Kalen to where his lab was. While he talks to them, somewhere in another time, David and Mrs. Watcham enter Alex's lab and talk about his disappearance. David states that Alex is happy wherever he is and offers Mrs. Watcham come to work as your housekeeper. Subscribe for more videos like this one, turn on notifications, and leave your like to help the channel. Thanks for watching.